host Jay Pops. Guys, I'm here. I'm here. I think all of you guys were waiting around. Uh, guys, look, this is a very, very intriguing episode on the Homemade Podcast Sports with your host Jay Pops. So let's get into some things. Uh, I hope that a lot of you guys are listening, and I hope that a lot of these guys in the 2022 class for Texas A&M period is listening, and as well as others and things of that nature. For just ones who really want to know what's going on and stuff like that. So, guys, let's go ahead. Let's get on into it, man. How are you guys today? Are you guys feeling all right? I told you guys that I was going to be back, and I meant what I said. For Courtney Prater, I think that's what it is. Courtney Prater, what up, peeps? Where you at, homie? Hey, man, I'm here. I'm here. Gunsmoke, what's going on? But I'm here. Like I say, man, I haven't went anywhere. I told you guys that I was going to be back doing this very, very hard, very, very consistently after a certain date. And hey, man, I'm back. So the topic of discussion on today, in which we'll be getting into National Signing Day on February 2nd. That's on Wednesday as well. So the topic of this discussion on today is this young man right here. And guys, excuse me, let me record over there, all of that stuff. But this is the topic of discussion on today, man. 5-star defensive end Shemar Stewart from out of Opelika, Florida. First off, who is Shemar Stewart? Who is he? Is he just a 5-star defensive lineman? Or is Shemar Stewart more than a 5-star, as what they're rating him at? Because do we really know him as a person? No, we don't, because I know I don't. I don't know him as a person. Okay, I don't know him personally. Let me rephrase that. What I do know is that Shemar Stewart can play some football. Okay? I'm going to make that be known once again. Shemar Stewart can play some football. I believe that, so let's go to it, man. Let's see who they're comparing Shemar Stewart to, because I love seeing this stuff. Okay, well, what's the comparison and stuff like that? And for you guys out there that did not know, on February 2nd, he will be making his commitment live at 1:30 p.m. So 1:30 p.m. for us in the state of Texas, in which a lot of you guys are in, that's going to be 12:30 noon. All right. Once again, he will be making this commitment on 1:30 p.m. From Florida out there, because they're an hour ahead of us anyways. But it's going to be basically 12:30 noon for us. So I need a lot of you guys to be watching February 6th. Yeah, I know it's not that many guys that we're going after that's going to be on that actual that's going to be signing on that actual signing day. But I need you guys to really, really be paying attention, because we may have some shocking stuff that happens, just like Gabriel Brownlow-Dindy shocked everybody. You know what I mean? So who's to say that we won't have another one like that? Who's to say another team won't have another one like that? But specifically, we're talking about A&M here. All right, so Aggie family and Aggie Network, I need you guys to really, really be paying attention come February 2nd. So first off, Shemar Stewart is from Opelika, Florida. Okay, let's go ahead and get that on out the way. For a lot of you guys that did not know, because I know a lot of you knew that he was from Florida, and that was basically probably about it. But he's from Opelika, Florida. Okay? I don't know too much about Opelika, Florida, so I'm not going to sit here and act like I do know about it. Okay? All I know is that it's Opelika, Florida. I have heard of it. And that may just be like a small town in Florida, if I'm not mistaken. So, this is some of his accolades. Under Armour All-American game, which of course he was in. So I believe I saw somebody make a comment already when I had said something about the comparison, and he had said Chris Jones. So you're right. For the guy that made that comment, for Courtney. I believe it was Courtney that made that comment. Yes, Chris Jones, you're right. Chris Jones of the Kansas City Chiefs. This is who they're comparing Shemar Stewart to. And I get all of my stuff from 247. And of course I get my stuff from Brian Peroni and Ryan Berninger when they put that stuff all on Twitter and they post on the message boards and stuff like that, man. So those guys there, hell of a recruiters. Ryan Berninger, he's a hell of a recruiter in both football and baseball. All right, so if you guys aren't following him, you guys need to go and do that now. Okay, so anywho, man, this is Andrew Ivins, and Andrew Ivins is the Southeast recruiting analyst. This guy is pretty darn good. Most of the things he say comes to a realization, like literally, it comes really to a realization. So I'm just going to read a little bit of who he's comparing it to and stuff like that. So he said this here. Shemar Stewart looks like a grown man out on the edge, was mistaken by one recruiter for a college senior. And I too myself looked at him. And Shemar Stewart, if you're listening, young man, I looked at you, I say, man, golly, that boy be. And that's because it's true. When you look at him, he's not your average 17 and 18-year-old kid coming from out of high school. You know, so that's just shocking and crazy to me, man. But you can tell, you know, that mom and dad, you know, and of course grandparents and other people that's involved, you know, with him and stuff like that, man, they made sure that that young fella ate whenever he needed to eat. So, you know, shout out to the high school coaches as well, you know, for, you know, like doing the meal plan properly and stuff like that. But he does look like a grown man on a high school field, you know, just about the same as how Walter Nolan looked when he was out there making plays, man. Because I actually seen the highlights for Walter, and I seen one highlight where Walter just shot up the middle in like 0.3 seconds. The fastest I've ever seen a defensive lineman get up the field, get to a quarterback. That's fast. That offensive lineman didn't have a chance. So then you turn on the tape for Shemar Stewart. He looks the same. He looks the same. And you're like, golly, man, that can't be for real. So, no, I'm sorry about that. I had my hand all in the video and stuff like that. So, no, man, I'm here to tell you guys, no, he is really that big, that athletic, and that smart, like football minded, man, because I seen the plays that he was making. He not only knows how to play that position, but he can play inside of the style of the playbook. That's dangerous, man. So that's why when you seen that A&M was on the radar and you seen him popping up at College Station multiple times, a lot of people are scratching their heads and just trying to figure out, hey, man, is A&M really going to sign him? So it's a lot of people chatting in the comment. Let me get to one of you guys real quick though. So Lauren Avila, how do you feel about the Harold Perkins waiting for his commitment, and do you think NIL is the problem? So first off, let me see. So okay, so when you say Harold Perkins is waiting on his commitment, are you talking about the February 2nd? I'm assuming. Is that what you're speaking of? Because I know that he was waiting on his commitment. First, the main part of the reason why he said that he was just going to wait to February 2nd was because of the simple fact of that he just wasn't ready yet. All right, he wasn't ready to make that decision. Now, if he has changed that commitment date, then that's something that I really don't know about. If he changed that commitment date, you guys please let me know that. But I know as of right now, the reason why he did wait February 2nd was because he wanted to firmly make the right decision and go forward with it. You know, so that's just about all I know about that. Okay. So let's go ahead and get back to this. So This was Andrew Ivins. Looks like grown man out on the edge. Was mistaken by one recruiter for a college senior when he was a high school freshman. Okay, so look, I didn't even much read the whole thing, but he was a high school freshman. They mistaked him for a college senior. A college senior because of his size. A legit 6'4", pushing 6'5". Added over 20 pounds of mass to his frame between junior and senior seasons. Still room, however, to get bigger as he's a tad on the leaner side. Owns one of the longest reaches of any pass rusher in the entire 2022 cycle with a wingspan that stretches well over 80 inches. Man, that's dangerous, man. So that's why I say I'm going to read it and going to kind of cut it. So you think about this defensive line class already overall, because we already have a stout defensive line class without Shemar Stewart. With Shemar Stewart possibly committing with Texas A&M, that would make that defensive line class elite. You understand what I'm saying? That would not only make it better, but that would make it amongst the elites. And these guys haven't even got on the field yet. So, you know, we're just talking about recruiting. I'm not talking about winning no national title. I'm not talking about none of that. And I hate when guys keep on saying that. Oh, you guys got number one class now, so that means y'all gonna win national title, right? So, I'm not saying that. But you put him with Walter Nolan. Just him and Walter Nolan for right now. That is a Myles Garrett, and I'm talking about guys that left A&M. That's a Myles Garrett and a DeMarvin Leal at the same darn time. I can't say what I want to say, but that's a DeMarvin Leal once again and a Myles Garrett at the same darn time. That's dangerous. And to play on this defense that they're playing on now, as opposing to the defense that Myles Garrett played on, that's elite. Once again, that's dangerous, but that's elite. You're amongst the elites. And anybody who's denying that, hey man, I will argue you down about that any place, anywhere, anytime you want to do that. If you put those two guys together, that's a Myles Garrett and a DeMarvin Leal waiting to explode. So this is the thing too, and I know we're just talking about recruit. If you have Shemar Turner, and I'm just talking about the 5 stars here. There's other people, of course, on the team, but I'm just talking about the 5 stars here. You got a Shemar Turner that's already over there, 5-star recruit, and he came. He's 5-star recruit sophomore now. You got a Shemar Stewart. You have a Walter Nolan and a Gabriel Brownlow-Dindy. I don't know what other defensive line you would want on the field at the moment, okay? And I understand what Georgia just gave you was darn good right there. But what if I told you that it's a defensive line that can be even better? And they happen to be playing in the SEC West. See, that's something you guys got to think about. That's something you guys got to think. I'm not saying that these guys are going to start. I'm not saying that. But that's something that you guys have to think about going forward. All right, so let's continue to move along. So he uses that length to his advantage. Has shown on tape that he's capable of winning both inside and outside. Initial burst allows him to quickly work his way into the backfield. If you guys have not went and watched Shemar Stewart's tape on how explosive he is, being that big, then you guys are really, really missing something. This is the reason to why Miami is throwing everything that they have to keep him home. Okay? This is the reason why. And they're going to continue to throw everything they have to keep him home. He's from Florida now, people. So they're going to do their best to keep him home. The problem is that Texas A&M and Jimbo Fisher's in the way. The problem is that Jimbo Fisher knows Florida, period. So that's what I think a lot of you guys continue to forget. Jimbo Fisher knows Florida. He still uses Florida as his secondary recruiting home. I don't know if any of you guys have figured that out yet, but he still uses Florida as his secondary recruiting home. I didn't say primary. His primary is the state of Texas. His secondary is Florida. That's why you see a lot of Florida and Texas kids at Texas A&M now, in which you have never seen before. Period. His third home, in which he's now making that his third home, is Philadelphia. I'm going to say it once again, it's Philadelphia. That's his third home. Primary home is Texas. Secondary is Florida. Third is Philly. And the fourth home, in which we've been in there many of times, even with Kevin Sumner, is the state of Louisiana, man. He combines all four of these states together. So a lot of people want to know, okay, well, is this class going to do it? And is this defensive line going to be the best ever defensive line class that was ever signed? Yes, it will be. It will be. That's no doubt about it. I'm not going to knock that. I'm not going to throw that off the clip, anything. No. This will be the best ever defensive line recruiting class you guys have ever seen. And the school that's going to sign it is Texas A&M University. Now, of course, a lot of people are going to have problems with that. But so what? So what? Okay? So, once again, this is about can we get Shemar Stewart? Well, I'm going to tell you one thing. Shemar Stewart already know the defensive line that's already been signed. He knows that if he adds his name to the list, he will be amongst the best ever defensive line class that college football has ever seen. That's recruiting. This is just recruiting. What do I tell you guys all the time? It starts with recruiting. All right. First, it starts with coaching. Let me go ahead and throw that out there and make that clear. It starts with coaching. This is football. It starts with coaching. Then it starts with recruiting. Third is winning. Okay? Coaching, recruiting, winning. If you coach good, you recruit good. If you recruit good, you get better wins. Okay? Yeah, I know the 8-4 and blah, 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 people going to bring it up all day long. There's a lot of stuff happening that season. It's no more excuses, though. This team going forward is a 10-win regular season football team, period. And it ain't just going to be for they just won 10 games 2 years. No. This is for this decade alone. We're now a 10-win team. And you ain't going to believe it until you see it. I know that. This is a 10-win team. I'm telling you what I know. All right? So, he's powerful enough at the point of contact to walk back an offensive tackle and flush out a pocket. Not much of a finesse player, at this stage in a development, but can execute a dip or rip to get around different obstacles. Tends to play with a high pad level, which can result in missed tackles. Has the foot speed to hawk down ball carriers, but needs to play through the whistle on a more consistent basis and be a difference maker outside the hashes if he's going to reach his full potential. So, of course, they have to throw, some things in there and stuff like that. But what if I told you that the defensive line class is coming in? So what if I told you? Okay, so I'm sorry. Just to answer that question from a young man, is a tight end Jake Johnson and Connor Wingman on campus right now? Yes. All of those guys are enrolled early, including Max Johnson. Max Johnson is on campus. So all of those guys are still there. Yes, they've all enrolled early. Baylor Cup will likely be starting next season. Yes, he will be. You can best believe that. And I'm going to get into that in just a minute. So what if I told you that all of the defensive linemen in this class alone won't transfer out? I'm talking about won't transfer out, period. What if I told you that all of the defensive linemen in this class alone will all get drafted throughout the next 4 years. When it gets to the fourth year, and if all these guys get drafted, in which I know they will be, I want you guys to come back to this podcast. And I want you guys to let me know how you all felt about that. I'm just throwing it out there. All right. So once again, of course, a lot of people is mad. As of right now, Shemar Stewart is the 10th best player in the nation. Okay, 10th best player in the nation, third best defensive lineman in the nation, and number one in Florida alone. Do you know how hard that is to be the number one player in Florida in football? Do you know how hard that is to be the number one player in Texas in football? Man, you got to put in a lot of work, and you got to be darn good. That's why I say, if we land Shemar Stewart, Shemar, if you're listening, not trying to put any pressure on you, nothing like that. To the family as well, if you all listen, not trying to put any pressure on you. But can you imagine, Tiffy, if he signs with Texas A&M? Do you not know how much ESPN will want to get the exposure of Texas A&M? Do you not know that? Texas A&M has been put on the stage like they haven't been put on the stage before since Johnny Manziel. That's what I'm telling you guys, since Johnny Manziel. We got put on that stage in 2020 because we were the number 5 team overall. And we deserved that stage. Now, they're going to get put on the stage because of how the way they recruit. You get put on the stage for things like that. These CBS games that's going to come out, we're going to have a CBS game against Ole Miss. You go ahead and bet that. Now, I don't know what time we're going to play Ole Miss, but you can bet your bubble on that. We're going to have a CBS game against them. We're going to continue to have the CBS game against Alabama. That's not going to stop. If LSU is good, I'm still trying to see when they're going to put us on CBS for them, but I think that's just a natural ESPN thing because it's rivalry week and Alabama has already taken that spot with Auburn. But we're going to have a couple of CBS games this year in which Texas A&M has not had ever. The Miami game, I believe that game will be probably like that's going to most likely be like a 3 o'clock game, I want to say. But if Shemar Stewart ends up signing with Texas A&M, do you not know how frustrated Mario Cristobal is going to look across from on that sideline over there when we play Miami this year? Because once again, man, you guys do know we're playing Miami, right? We play Miami. So when he comes to College Station, he's going to be so frustrated because he couldn't get who he wanted to get. But that's what makes college football special, man. That's what makes it so special. That's what makes you want to watch it. All right, I'm intrigued for that game, and I'm so ready for that game. Once again, I told you guys I will be at that game, and I'm hoping those tickets do not sell out. But we will be there. So, speaking of game, let's talk about this, all right? And we're going to go ahead and get on up out of here. So, let's talk about this. And I will get into this more, later on down, throughout the year and stuff like that before the spring game. So, I see a lot of you guys are saying, who will be the starter at quarterback? And I'm so glad that Max Johnson and Connor Wingman has walked in here and they have made that quarterback room very, very interesting. They've made it very interesting. So who will be the starting quarterback? Haynes King. That's just that. Haynes King will be your starter. The only problem is that I'm telling you this now. I don't know what's going to happen come spring game. Why? Because he has 2 other people that's going to make that job very, very hard. They're going to make that job immensely hard. So whomever the starter may be, all I can say is this here. They really beat them out. Okay? So, but in my mind, I believe it's Haynes King. because Haynes King has some unfinished business. Uh, Now the next man up is Max Johnson, who's the number 2, and Connor Wingman is number 3. Although I say all of this, all of these guys will get playing time throughout the entire season. I honestly believe that Connor Wingman will not take a red shirt. I highly doubt that. Who's going to be your starter at tight end? I see a lot of you guys keep on mentioning that as well. I thank Jake Johnson for coming in and making that job hard. I see, excuse me for 1 second. So, Courtney Prater, don't forget about Adele and Burrs. Oh, trust me, I haven't. Don't forget about Fidel Diggs neither. I have not forgot about any of those guys that's already on the defensive line. The problem is that those guys, most of them asked for this specific defensive line class to be recruited the way they are. So it would make them better. That's the thing about this team going forward. So understand that we have an elite football team. Talent-wise. Talent-wise, we have an elite football team. Now we have to see if we can just put the wins in the elite category. Now we have to see if we can play elite. Well, play at an elite level. Yeah, Fidel Diggs is underrated. Sure he is. But now we have, in Fidel Diggs, for people that did not know, Fidel Diggs is one of my favorite defensive linemen over there, because I simply sat up there and I watched this recruitment, and he came way from New Jersey, and that just impacted me totally. I was just, that was it for me. He's one of my favorite. I've seen him on the field a couple of times. He's a highly rated 4-star recruit when he came out. Highly rated. He's doing good. Continue to watch. But they told those guys to come so they can make them elite. Okay? So, anywho, the win total. The starter at tight end. And I thank Jake Johnson for coming in there. And I think our guy from Sweden, I don't know why his name isn't popping off the top of my head right now, but I thank him for enrolling early with this class and just wanting to come on in. Theodore Ostrom, I thank him for coming in as well. The tight end room has gotten better, and Donovan Green as well. So you got 3 tight ends came in the same class. I've never ever seen that before. And I don't know if we needed that or what, but looking at Baylor Cupp. See, Baylor Cupp is still a 5-star recruit in my eyes. He just hasn't been on the field yet. He's still a 5-star recruit. So can he live up to the potential is the question. I'm the one that I believe he can, man. I still see something in Baylor Cupp. I'm not saying he's going to be a first round. Highly second round, yes. If he puts on a good enough tape. Because I think after this year, he's eligible to go into the NFL draft. So depending on how this year is for Baylor Cupp in just one season, if he has a hellified season, Baylor Cupp is gone, man. That's it. I'm out. And he should be. This is the reason why you come to Texas A&M. You come to get your education first off, but you come to play good football under a good head coach, and you do what you got to do. You know? So I believe he'll be pretty darn good. That's going to be the guy that's very underrated because nobody is going to be expecting stuff from him. It's just going to be, well, this is what we've been wanting to see type of deal. All right, so that's it for the tight end. Running back is going to be A-Chain. That's just that. But this is the thing here. It's going to be A-Chain and L.J. Johnson. Those are going to be your 2 primary running backs. The guys after them is going to be, I believe is, man, I keep on getting these guys' position confused. I don't know if Amari Daniels plays running back or Keith Brown. I believe Amari Daniels plays running back. So Amari Daniels will be behind him. And so that's going to give you 3. And that's really all the 3 that we need for right now. The guy that's going to be behind him, though, Amari Daniels is going to be the guy that's going to come in this recruiting class, Le'Veon Moss. So he's going to be behind him. And I believe it's going to be a good four-headed monster back there, man. I really do believe that. All right. So also I believe Eric Cronenberg is still back there if I'm not mistaken. So he's a good bulldozer. Um. So who's going to start at the wide receiver position? This is very, very intriguing because a lot of people wants to know who's going to start at the wide receiver position. This is a position that Jimbo Fisher has been wanting to see get better for a very long time, man. A very, very long time. And like I said, I'll talk more about these things on a later date, but I'm just throwing some names out there. So who's going to start at the wide receiver position? Wide receiver number one. It's going to be Demond Demas. That's just that, okay? That's going to be wide receiver number one, Demond Demas. Wide receiver number two. This is wide receiver two, people. It's going to be Caleb Chapman. That's going to be your wide receiver number two. Your slot wide receiver will be Aniyah Smith. That will be him. So that'll be your wide receiver number three. Who's going to be behind Demond Demas at wide receiver number one? You know they play on both sides of the field. This is the guy who's going to be behind Demond Demas on wide receiver one. Musa Muhammad. He will be there. Caleb Chapman. Ivins Stewart. He will be behind Caleb Chapman. This is all of my predictions. He will be behind Caleb Chapman. Ivins Stewart. And then behind Aniyah Smith will be Chase Lane. Okay? That's just that. He will be Chase Lane. So, who will be the third person behind Demond Demas and Musa Muhammad? This will be your third guy. Chris Marshall. He will be behind him. All right? He will be behind him. Chris Marshall. Over there on the other side, it may just be Hezekiah Jones. Or Hezekiah Jones may be behind Caleb Chapman. I don't know yet. That's if Hezekiah is still here. He'll be behind Caleb Chapman. Or he'll be behind Ivins Stewart. Who will be behind the slot? It's Jalen Preston. And Jalen has been there for a very long time, man. A very, very long time. If Jalen Preston can beat out a couple of guys, because I believe so far as eligibility, Chase Lane still has like about 2 years. So if Chase Lane still needs to rest his foot to get that all together and come back in 2023, Chase Lane can undoubtedly do that just to get himself fully healthy. But that will be Jalen Preston. Okay, so that's me. That's all I'm going to say about that. I'm not going to get into the defensive side because that's a whole lot to go around on. But I will say this though. My boy out there that was on the other freshman team, man, what's his name? That was on the other freshman team. Oh, yeah, and I forgot about Ukeep Brown. See, we got so many darn wide receivers that I forget about a lot of them. So Ukeep Brown will be behind Aniyah Smith. That's true. Ukeep Brown will be your slot receiver, too. So this thing about the other cornerbacks, man, and my boy out there, he made a living off of these guys. Tyreek Chappelle. I'm going to tell you right now, Tyreek Chappelle ain't giving up nothing. So if you're going to come out there and you feel like you're going to beat him out, man, you better be a hell of a corner. You best be a hell of a corner. This is the premier competition. This is why they come here. Can we beat you out? You probably can't. But that's okay. I guarantee you that you're about just as good, though. So all of these guys will come into rotation. That's what I love about this team going forward. They will come into rotation. What's our record for this year? And I'm going to throw it out here, man, before I get on out of here. And we're going way over the time. What's our record for this year? 2022. I believe Haynes King has unfinished business. A lot of people are going to shun me for this, but I guarantee you we was almost in drop seat. I'm going to say 12-0 conference play. I honestly believe that. And I'm not delusional. I'm not anything. I honestly believe that we have enough we have enough experience on offense to make some explosive things happen. And I honestly believe we have enough talent on defense to make some guys look in the mirror and be like, man, oh God, dog. Yes, it is raining in Houston right now. I'm gonna go out on a limb and I'm gonna say 12-0. 12-0 conference play. That's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard as hell. But I believe because of the simple fact that I know Haynes King has some unfinished business, and Haynes King is going to be very, very mad coming into the season. He's going to do some things that you did not expect Haynes King to do. It's going to be a lot of touchdowns to interception ratios. Man, we just got to see it all put together. And that's what we're all waiting on. We're all waiting on everything to be put together. But I honestly believe they can go 12-0. I know the predictions does say 10-2 on most people's radar. But I believe they have enough talent on offense and defense to just, man, I think I'm not going to say they're going to murder their opponents, by all means, but I do believe that they're going to get a couple of wins with the dog in them, with the dog fight in them. And everybody's going to be like, man, I cannot believe we done won 11 games. That's how everybody's faces is going to look. And everybody's face is going to say, man, I cannot believe Texas A&M, bro, they just won 10 games. Like, I ain't seen A&M win 10 games in I don't know how long. That's what everybody's going to say. And I'm here for it and I'm waiting on it. But I believe that Jimbo Fisher wants it to come true already. He wants to go undefeated. He wants to go undefeated. You know, his kids wants to go undefeated as well. They want to go undefeated under his coaching and let everyone know that he's not the coach that they continue to say that he is on a negative aspect. Oh, he can do all this. Oh, he can recruit. But, man, well, Jimbo Fisher got to get done. I believe those kids wants to give him that. They want to give themselves that. And they know they have the talent to do it. So, once again, guys, Homemade Podcast Sports with host Jay Pops. I love all of you guys. I'll talk to you on tomorrow. #Geek.